Log X, The Hidden Ones, Dr. Rafiq Malik's Field Journal, entry 010. We noticed the absence this morning. While going over the manifest of the remaining warm containers, the pods that still hummed faintly with internal energy and radiated low heat, we realized something alarming. They were gone. Not all, but a majority. Sequestered, removed in the night, without our knowledge. Dr. Wu ran an inventory cross-check from yesterday's logs and confirmed it. 14 pods. Moved. No authorization logged. No explanation. No one saw or heard the move happen, despite the equipment being massive and needing cranes and labor crews. When we approached Slater's team for answers, we were met with this. Those units have been classified for high-priority research elsewhere. You will be briefed if your input is required. That was it. Cold, clinical, dismissive. We aren't being included anymore. We're being tolerated. The remaining 5 warm pods, still in our containment area, have been placed under armed guard. Armed. Not researchers. Not security. Military-grade operators with no badges, no names, and eyes that don't blink. We were told, do not approach these units without direct clearance. You will be escorted out of the research site if you violate this. Escorted. Not reassigned, not relieved. Escorted out. The subtext is loud and clear. And something else. Last night, before the inventory was completed, Dr. Castillo swore she saw one of the warm pods fogging up from the inside. Condensation, as if the temperature changed briefly. We assumed it was environmental fluctuation. But now she's not so sure, especially after noticing new scratch marks inside the glass. Small, faint, like fingernails. Or claws. We asked for footage. The cameras in that wing malfunctioned from 1:17 a.m. to 3:52 a.m. We are being cut off. We've decided to start our own off-the-books record. Hidden logs, personal backups. Every member of our core team will document what they see, because if this unravels, we may not get the chance later. Something is happening, and it's not just scientific. These aren't just artifacts. They're occupants, and they may not be sleeping anymore. Logrisenks, the transfer Dr. Rafiq Malik's Field Journal, entry 011. There are crates everywhere now. Shipping manifests printed in at least 6 different languages. Cargo planes inbound. Helicopters arriving at random hours. Security checkpoints doubled. The air is thick with whispers. Russian, Mandarin, French, Arabic, German. Uniforms from countries we didn't even know had been informed. This is no longer our site. The warm containers, all of them, are being prepped for relocation to a facility we're told is more equipped for containment and high-level study. The name of the facility wasn't given. The location? Classified. We're being invited to accompany the project, but it's clear this is less invitation and more soft abduction cloaked in diplomacy. Our team received an official document this morning. It reads like a press release for a breakthrough. We didn't finish. It names us, our lab, our names, our work. But the phrasing makes it clear. With grateful acknowledgement to the research initiated by the Corpus Cavern Climate Project, this next phase will be conducted under a unified, global effort led by an international coalition of specialized experts in cultural recovery, biological preservation, and national defense. We're being turned into figureheads. The subtle language implies we were lucky amateurs who stumbled onto something important, and now the real scientists and leaders are here to take over. They want our names on the final paper so it looks clean, inclusive, historical. But this is not history. It's a theft. Slater, the U.S. liaison, pretended to assure us this was all for the best, said that our role is symbolic now, vital for narrative consistency. Narrative, consistency. This is being rewritten before it's even finished. Doctor, Wu is furious. Dr. Castillo has already started packing. I haven't told anyone yet, but I've made a hidden scan of every scroll we've translated and every image of the cavern walls. If they plan to erase us, I'll at least keep the truth somewhere, even if it's just on a flash drive tucked into my sock. Some of the specialists who arrived today brought cryogenic storage equipment and unmarked black canisters. One had an insignia I didn't recognize, not from any government. Maybe a private contractor. Maybe worse. I don't think this discovery belongs to anyone anymore, and maybe that's the problem. Log Dagtus. The Silence Doctor. Rafik Malik's Field Journal. Entry 012. It's been 63 days since we were last allowed to contact the outside world. The lockdown was sudden, issued the morning after the containers began being loaded for relocation. No prior warning. Just a sharp knock on the door, a terse message. All communications are now suspended. Orders from above. At first, we thought it was temporary, a security precaution during the transition. But that was nearly 2 weeks ago. We haven't spoken to our families since. Dr. Nina Elbaz, one of our brightest, is only 26. She was finishing her master's thesis when she joined the team. Thought it'd be a thrilling side project for the summer. Her parents live in Beirut, and we're calling her every other day. I saw her crying in the storage bay today, phone clutched like a talisman to a life she may never get back. She doesn't even know if they've been told she's safe. Dr. Santiago. Castillo has twin daughters, 6 years old. He showed us a video once of them singing a birthday song for him, off-key but beaming with pride. His wife, Camila, works night shifts as a nurse. He's tried everything to stay calm, but yesterday he asked, "What did they tell my girls? That I died? That I disappeared?" He's not the only one asking. Dr. Wu has stopped speaking to anyone. She keeps a tiny notebook filled with names, friends, siblings, old students. We think she's writing letters she can't send. Maybe she hopes someone will read them someday if we vanish. And then there's me. I have a sister. Her name is Sophia. She's been raising her son alone since her husband passed. Every Friday we'd video call. Pizza night, Malik family tradition. I used to keep a photo of them on my tablet, but I turned the screen off a few days ago. I can't bear to look at it. We were scientists, researchers, students. This was supposed to be 6 weeks of data collection and maybe a published paper on cave climate patterns. Now we're prisoners of a discovery too, big to be allowed to stay in the hands of the people who made it. What were our families told? A delay? A reassignment? A classified operation? Or were we erased? Quietly, cleanly, like footprints in sand before the tide. None of us know. None of us are allowed to ask. But I see it in their eyes now. Every member of this team has started to mourn something. Some mourn their children. Some mourn their partners. Some mourn their freedom. And some are starting to mourn themselves. Log Thawthreed. Golden cages and barbed wires. Dr. Rafik Malik's Field Journal. Entry 013 night. Started with Dr. Wu. She packed her things in silence. No announcement, no emotional farewells. She simply requested an exit, said she was unwell, needed to return to her family. A few of us watched her disappear behind the blackout tarps that now surround the base camp's perimeter. She never came back. 2 days later, the first whispers began. She was gone, but not home. Not yet, maybe not ever. Word spread. She was relocated, not released. Her research notes, equipment, even her journal were confiscated. The last thing she said to anyone was, "Don't let them bury us." That phrase stuck. I wrote it down. This morning, we were officially briefed. Anyone who wants to leave must agree to the following terms. Forfeit all personal and professional data gathered during the expedition. Field notes, recordings, observations, theories, even memories if they could. Sign a non-disclosure agreement so binding it borders on psychological imprisonment. surrender any rights to speak or publish about their time here, directly or indirectly. Accept blacklisting from the global scientific community for a minimum of 5 years, with the possibility of lifetime restriction depending on compliance. Some call it freedom. Others call it erasure. Dr. El Baz nearly snapped when she read the document. We built this discovery. We opened these doors. Now we're being told we were never here? She crumpled the paper and tossed it into the waste bin, only for one of the government assistants to silently pick it up and hand her a fresh copy. Smiling. There are guards now, armed, polite, but distant. They don't share names. They wear unmarked uniforms and sleep in a separate compound. We are not allowed to enter. One of them, tall, pale, eyes like unfinished ice, watches me more than the others. I'm starting to catalog their behavior the way I once did with climate anomalies. We all keep working, but the mood has changed. We talk in whispers. We glance over our shoulders. We pretend to take walks alone but leave coded messages on the backs of stones. Someone's created a fake server, uploading fragments of field notes, old camera footage, whatever we can preserve without drawing attention. We've started calling it the Ark. No one talks about leaving anymore, not because they don't want to, but because now we all understand. Leaving isn't an exit. It's an erasure. And if we go, who will remember what we found here?